must bring to our task today the vision and will of those who came before.
The American dream endures.
This is, in some measure, an act of faith and vision.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream.
Greetings and welcome to show number 5. I'm your host, Max. We will look at strange and interesting things from the past, present, and future while focusing on dreams, visions, marvels, and virtue. Let's look at the past now and see what kinds of interesting and odd things history has to tell us. Get on board our time machine and travel back to the past with us. As we go, we'll travel further and further back into history. We'll start from the recent past, beginning with a strange phenomena known as the Taos Hum, or simply the Hum, named for Taos, New Mexico, one of the first places where it happened. This anomaly is a persistent, intrusive, low-frequency humming, droning, or rumbling noise that some people have heard, and it has been reported at various places and times in the recent past. One of our own people has claimed to have heard it once about 20 years ago. He continued living at the same location for some time, but he never heard the sound again. Here's a recording similar to what he said it sounded like. The teddy bear, a stuffed toy, was named for President Theodore Roosevelt Jr., who hated this nickname that he was stuck with. Another person who flourished at about the same time and who also hated his particular association with a certain bear was this person, who died in 1996. This is the original Christopher Robin, the good friend of Winnie the Pooh. His teddy bear and a real bear named Winnipeg at a London zoo became the inspiration for the Winnie the Pooh character. In addition to being bullied by his classmates because of his fame, he began to resent what he saw as his father's exploitation of his childhood, and came to hate the books that made him famous. Western society might not be what it is today were it not for the existence of monks in the ancient Dark Ages. They saved agriculture in Europe by teaching cultivation, introducing crops, industries, production methods, and they were experts in metallurgy and glasswork. They copied and transcribed ancient manuscripts and literature that otherwise would have been lost. The monks were also dedicated to the next person that we will study on our time-traveling journey. The name of a man who bridged and surmounted the past, present, future, and who was the master of dreams, visions, marvels, and virtue is Jesus. What was he really like? If only we could get into a time machine and travel back into the past to see him for ourselves. In any case, he was an extraordinary man, or otherwise we would not remember him and know about him. He said that, like specially sculpted stone, his words would never fade and would endure for ages. So far, he has been correct. What did he look like? Was he beautiful or ordinary looking? His most important features were probably his eyes. His eyes were probably brown, but we can only speculate about them. Perhaps they were gray. Was he tall or short? As for his body, he most likely was not weak, though many artistic and historical representations show him as a weak, sad, woeful-looking human, basically a wimp. Actually, he most likely had a physically active trade of some kind like carpentry or masonry, and this trade would build up the muscles of his body. So if you think about it, then you'll probably agree that he was probably a physically strong man. Maybe he had an imposing physical appearance like some kind of comic book superhero. Physically, morally, and mentally, he could be described as an advanced human. He could even be described as a, well, Superman. Well, that's enough for the past, so let's move on to the world of the present. Most everyone knows about the damage caused by the recent Hurricane Harvey, though it could have been worse. It didn't dissipate until it reached as far north as Kentucky. The only silver lining in this dark cloud is the fact that this country has been spared the onslaught of a major hurricane like this for the last 10 years, though that's little comfort to folks whose homes and businesses were flooded. Most of the damage was from unceasing rain and flooding, though few lives were lost. Fortunately, Harvey weakened as it approached the coast, so there weren't too many problems caused by strong winds. Traveling by road was hazardous and could be quite scary at times. Now the only thing we have to worry about is winter. Perhaps this isn't logical, but since the summer of 2017 broke many heat records, perhaps this coming winter will be mild. Arundhira Walinda, the wife of famed daredevil Nick Walinda and a member of the Flying Walindas, broke her husband's record this summer, dangling 300 feet above Niagara Falls by her teeth. In 1978, family member Carl Walinda died in a high wire accident while trying to walk between two towers of the Condado Plaza Hotel located in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The tightrope walk started out okay, but then strong winds caused disaster for Mr. Walinda. We would like to clarify something. The prediction of the future from our previous show that you see now seems at a glance to predict a tragedy of some kind or something unfortunate, but actually the vision that prompted this prediction will prevent some bad event from happening. The interesting thing about true visions is that they themselves cause something good to happen, or they prevent something bad from happening, even if a prediction is never made from them. Of course, a successful prediction, and they're all successful, has the added benefit of sustaining faith for those who witness them. Okay, it's time to move right along and take a look at the world of the future. One more piece of advice. After you download Temp15 ZIP, you should use a program other than your operating system's default unzipper to unzip it so that you won't get any erroneous warning messages about not running an unpublished program. Hey there, remember me? What do you think the world of the future will be like? On the one hand, technology and medicine are advancing by leaps and bounds, shrinking the world and paving the way for increased leisure and longer life for some people, while on the other hand, the population of the shrinking world is growing as fast or faster, and pollution and reduced food supplies spell challenge. These are the subjects that we'll be looking at, and some of them are linked together in ways that only the future or visionary revelations will fully reveal. Something that could throw a wrench into a smooth-flowing future is the dreaded technological singularity. To paraphrase Wikipedia, the technological singularity is the possibility that artificial superintelligence will trigger runaway technological growth. According to this hypothesis, an upgradable computer using artificial intelligence software could enter a runaway reaction of self-improvement, with each new and more intelligent generation appearing more and more rapidly, causing an intelligence explosion and resulting in a powerful superintelligence that would far surpass all human intelligence. Maybe for some odd reason which can't currently be comprehended, it will never happen. Some of us still remember all the hype and hysteria that surrounded the seemingly inevitable chaos that was supposed to happen because of Y2K, but instead of happening with a roar, it went away with a whimper. Even if intelligent machines eventually threaten humanity, not all is lost. The human brain is a wondrous organ, and its three-dimensional capabilities are amazing. In addition to that, humans are telepathic, and telepathy just may end up saving us all by means of doing something that no machine will ever be able to do. Besides the possibilities inherent in the human genome and the cells of the human brain, humans could eventually link up together telepathically and overwhelmingly surpass any capabilities that machines may have. We could eventually become one super brain composed of many brains, evolving into one great mind. Not only would the reality of that protect us from machines, it could also protect us from ourselves and make us better and safer people. Well, that's all of the show for now, even though there is no now. We hope you enjoyed it and that you will visit us again. So long until the next edition of The World of the Future.